hostess Cindy Schumacher. On today's show we'll be making chicken with apple cream sauce, garlic butter rice, a fresh carrot puff, country green salad, and a chocolate pound cake. I'm going to start with the carrot puff. So I have two pounds of carrots that I have peeled, cooked, and pureed. So, and I have, this is a half cup of butter. The recipe calls for a fourth pound, which is a half cup. But sometimes it's kind of confusing. You got to stop and think. But anyway, so we'll start out with and we're just going to combine all of our ingredients together. So I'm going to grab a spatula. Should have done that before. I just recently tried this recipe. I've always been intrigued by like a vegetable souffle kind of type thing. And if you are a regular viewer of this show, you know I'm always about color. And today I'm making a chicken breast which doesn't have a ton of color, although this does, because of the applesauce as it cooks, it darkens a little bit. And then the rice doesn't have a ton of color either. So I always like to kind of give us a little bit of contrast with something green or something orange or yellow or something with some color. So to the carrots, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Not very organized today. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and I'm going to fresh squeeze it. If you don't have fresh lemons, you can use the real lemon in the bottle, or I guess that's what you kind of would have to do. So I'm going to squeeze 2 teaspoons. A 1/4 cup of sugar. 1½ tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I have 3 eggs that I've beaten just with a wire whisk. A cup of milk. A 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. A little bit bulging there. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of green onions to this, but I want to get it blended first before I throw those in. Two tablespoons of green onions. Whip those in. And then I have 1 egg white, and I'm going to fold that in. I've prepared a 2-quart souffle here. This is going to bake in a 350 oven for 50 to 60 minutes. So we'll take a quick break and clean up, and we'll be right back.
That is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
We're going to start on the chocolate pound cake. I have a cup and a half of unsalted butter that is softened. I actually had to stick it in the microwave because it's a little cool in here and it wasn't really soft. But to that I'm going to add 3 cups of granulated sugar. And this needs to be mixed for about 5 minutes so it gets almost white by the time you beat it for that long. So I'm not going to make you watch me whip this for 5 minutes. So we'll take a break, but I just wanted to make sure that you had some of the ingredients. To this I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And sometimes, I'll use like the Watkins clear vanilla, but that's an imitation vanilla. When you're doing something like a pound cake where you've got a lot of expensive ingredients, you've got the unsalted butter, you've got 5 eggs, you've got a lot of sugar, so then I try to use a pure vanilla extract. So if at all possible, I would recommend that you do that. So I have 5 large whole eggs, and I'm going to add those one at a time. You seldom will see me crack eggs on camera because I'm not a very good egg cracker. I don't know why, I just don't have that technique. But anyway, it really works out well when you have them all in separate containers. You don't have to stop your mixer and crack another one and dump it in. So just go ahead and dirty the extra dishes and get your eggs all ready to roll. Just makes it so much simpler. Okay, nice and fluffy, and as you can see, it's almost white. You can hardly tell that there's even yellow butter in there or eggs. So we're going to combine the dry ingredients. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To that I'm going to add a cup of cocoa, half teaspoon of salt, and a half teaspoon of baking powder. When you're making a big cake like this, it doesn't seem like a lot, but you've got all those eggs in there, and that'll help with your raising the cake. I always whisk my dry ingredients together just to get a better incorporation. You don't have a chunk of this here and a chunk of that there. Okay, so I've got a cup of buttermilk here, and I have a 1/4 cup of water. I'm just going to go ahead and mix those 2 together. because we're going to alternately add our dry ingredients with the buttermilk and the water. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of the dry ingredients, add a little of this. Want to end up with your dry ingredients being added last. Before I add that, I want to go ahead and scrape down the edge of my bowl, just make sure I've got everything in there. And you just want to mix it really well so that it's all incorporated. You don't see any dry spots. Okay, I have a bundt pan here, and I've always had this kind of old bundt pan, but I want to give a plug for Pampered Chef. This is honestly the nicest bundt pan I've ever had. There's so many times when I've gone to all the trouble of making a beautiful cake and then half of it gets stuck in the pan, but this pan I've had wonderful luck with. It's just really nice quality. So that's one thing you might want to invest in, is a really nice bundt pan if you like making bundt cakes, and I do a lot. So this is another one of those products where you don't spray it. You actually, so I've actually greased this with butter. I'm going to go ahead and put the cake in. If you want to do something a little festive with this, if you want to add maybe that 4th cup of water, if you want to maybe do Kahlua or Amaretto or something and add a little bit of liquor to it, the alcohol will all bake away, so you don't have to worry about serving it to someone that doesn't want alcohol, because you'll basically just be left with the flavor. So you can do that if you choose to. Okay, I'm going to put this in the oven at 325, and it takes anywhere from an hour to hour and 15 minutes to bake. So you'll want to start checking it when you get close to that hour range. So I'm going to take a break and clean up. We'll be right back.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. Call Valley today at 437-2615.
We're going to start working on the chicken. I have a tablespoon or maybe a little bit more of oil that I'm heating on the stove here. And I have 4 chicken breasts that I'm going to add to the oil. And we're going to get them cooking. And I have pretty thick chicken breasts here, so I'm going to cook them a little longer than it says because we don't want to have any raw chicken. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it cook for a little while here. We'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, we're going to make up the apple cream sauce. So I have a cup of apple juice. This is my own fresh pressed apple juice, but you can use anything. I'm using unsweetened apple juice because I want it to have just a little bit of sweetness, but not a lot of sweetness. So to that, then I'm going to add a teaspoon of lemon juice. A 1/4 to a 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary. Rosemary is pretty strong, so if you want to err on the side of caution, then I would use the lesser, but I'm going to go ahead and do just about a 1/2. Half teaspoon of salt. And an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to mix that together. Once I brown the chicken on both sides, then I'll pour this over and let this kind of soak into the chicken. I have a 1/2 cup of whipping cream here. To that I'm going to add a tablespoon of cornstarch to thicken it a little bit, and we'll add that at the very last to thicken the sauce, and we'll pour that over the chicken, but I'm just gonna get it ready here and we'll just set it aside. Now I want to remind you, like I always do, if you want a copy of any of these recipes, this chicken is actually very delicious, and it's very mild. And I wanted to kind of make something kind of special. Sometimes for Valentine's Day I like to do, invite some friends in or something like that and do kind of a special meal. And this is a nice idea for you. It's very easy to make, and it goes quite quickly, and you pretty much just do it on the stove, so it doesn't take a lot of time. But anyway, if you want a copy of this, and I hope you do, and you don't have internet, give the girls at Valley a call. They'll be happy to help you with a copy. If you do have internet, you go to the Valley homepage, www.valleytel.net. Click on the Country Cooking Cow, and you'll find all the recipes. I'm going to take a break while we're waiting for the chicken to cook, and we'll be right back. Start on the garlic butter rice. I have about 2 tablespoons of canola oil, and to that I'm going to add, I have 6 cloves of garlic. It sounds like a ton of garlic for this dish, but it really has it makes a nice flavor because I'm going to brown these slices of garlic. You peel them and then slice them, and it gives, until they have kind of a brown crust on them, and we're gonna use those for garnish. So go ahead and get those going, because it takes a few minutes for them to brown up. And I'm going to flip the chicken. I'm just going to put a lid on it because it's splattering just a little bit. Whenever you're planning a meal and you try to complement everything by choosing the right flavors and everything, and I just thought that this garlic rice would make a nice complement for this chicken, and it really does. It gives it a little bit, it's a little bit of a stronger flavor where the chicken is fairly mild with the applesauce. Now, this is getting brown pretty fast, so what I'm going to do is drain them on paper towels. And then we're going to add it at the end as a garnish. So it's nice and brown like this. I don't know, Lisa, if you can get a close enough shot of that so that they can see. You want it to be nice and brown. I'm going to drain the oil off. And we're going to use the same skillet. I'm going to actually clean it up here. And we're going to put this back on the stove, and then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And we'll get that melted. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit because I don't want that butter to scorch. Okay, once that's melted, then I'm going to add more garlic. And right now you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's an awful lot of garlic. And it seems like it is, but honestly, because it's being cooked and everything, it really doesn't taste that strong. So I'm going to add 2.5 teaspoons of minced garlic, and I'm just using it out of a jar. I think I told you before on another show, at my parents' restaurant, we used to have this customer from Fulton. His name was C.J. Huss, and he always had a joke, but he always would come up with something silly, and he's the one that said, if you know how to get rid of onion breath, eat garlic. So I always think about that when I'm cooking with garlic. Okay, so now to this, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of long grain white rice. Go ahead and stir that into the butter with the garlic. And then you want to make sure it gets coated so that it starts to absorb that flavor. And now I'm going to pour in 2.5 cups of chicken broth. And we're going to get that cooking. I'm going to put a lid on that and bring it to a boil, and then we're going to turn the heat down so it simmers. Okay, the chicken looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and pour the apple juice mixture over it. Turn that heat down just a little bit. So now while we have everything cooking, I'm going to take a quick break and clean up. We'll be right back.
At Valley Telecommunications, we pride ourselves in providing the home team advantage. But what does that mean? It means going above and beyond to take care of our customers' needs by providing exceptional customer service, because helping you helps all of us. As a cooperative, each time you subscribe to our services, you are investing in our community, which allows all of us to build and benefit from the newest technologies. Make the switch today to Valley Telecommunications and experience the home team advantage.
This cake doesn't really call for a frosting or a decoration of any kind, and you can do something as simply as sprinkling powdered sugar on it if you want to do some kind of a chocolate glaze or something like that. But what I thought I'd do is I melted some white chocolate, and I'm going to kind of just do kind of a drizzle on it. Let it ooze down a little bit. I'm going to sprinkle some almonds on it just to kind of give it just a little bit of a festive look. So, a bit of a clump there. All right. Now, I'm going to remove the chicken from the kettle and stir in the cream that I have prepared there. So we can thicken the applesauce. I have a flat whisk, and this works real well if you're doing some sort of where you're trying to incorporate drippings and everything together. So I'm going to let that thicken a little bit. In the meantime, we'll quick stir up the salad. I have some mixed greens here, so you want to wash them, make sure they're good and dry. To this, I'm going to add a red apple that I have kind of chunked, smaller chunks, not real big. This I'm going to add about a half of a red onion that I've slivered really thin. I sometimes tear them because a big ring gets to be a lot. And that should be good. I have 2 hard-cooked eggs that I have kind of coarsely diced. I'll sprinkle those. I have 4 ounces of blue cheese. And then the salad does not call for bacon, but when you've got bacon and onions and apples and everything, I thought the bacon might be a nice addition. So I have some bacon that I have fried and crumbled. We'll throw that on. And now the dressing for this is kind of unusual. I'm going to go ahead and mix them together. It's actually a half cup of mayonnaise and a half cup of sour cream. But you're going to get some of the sweetness from the apples, some of the tanginess from the bacon, Just gonna mix those together. And then we're gonna toss it. This is this time of the year where you don't have a lot of fresh things on hand. Seems like you always have an apple. You can always hard boil some eggs and fry up some bacon and find a green onion. So this is a good salad for this time of the year. Okay, set that aside. Turn that up so it cooks a little faster. We're just about ready to go, so I'm going to clean up.
It is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
Okay, I'm going to just finish up the rice. I've got some green onions here. You can actually totally stir them in, or you can just sprinkle them over the top, kind of like this. And then take the garlic that we browned at the very beginning, and you just kind of do it like this. So it looks like that when you dish. You can also just serve this cake if you don't want to put a frosting on it or any kind of a glaze or anything. You can also just serve it with ice cream. So it's you have a lot of flexibility there. Okay, plate. Like this. Now you can see what I mean when I talk about color. So we've got a little bit of the green here, but when you add your carrot puff, then it just gives your whole plate a little bit of balance. Okay. We have our chicken with apple cream sauce, our garlic butter rice, our fresh carrot puff, our country green salad, and our chocolate pound cake. Thanks for joining us today on this edition of Country Cookin'. We hope to see you next time.